It's your boy Light back with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're doing another one of these Let's Talk videos, and yeah, we're talking about the Iron Man Trilogy here. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, we're talking about Marvel's the MCU's first trilogy. And yeah, if you're new to these Let's Talk videos, they're just basically kind of like my take on a review. That's what I'm gonna call these now. They're not Yeah, I'm think I'm gonna do this from now on. It's kind of like movie reviews, except I talk more freely, and yeah, it's more freely of me talking and stuff instead of just sticking on movie aspects of it. I'm talking about stuff I liked and stuff I didn't like. Just in case you're wondering, that's what I'm gonna do for now. I might still occasionally call it like a review. Like, for example, I did the Baby Driver review, and obviously WandaVision and stuff. In TV shows and all that stuff will be still strictly reviews. Even though I talk about like my own opinion in them, these videos are just a little bit different, and they're in multiple different movies in it. Cause I'm gonna try and kind of review the MCU as I'm going along. Cause I'm actually going on a Marvel rewatch right now. So it's like, why not? Yeah, like why not do this instead? And I'm actually gonna do a ranking. Uh, Honestly, I'm expecting it out to come out mid March probably. Uh, yeah, once I finish all of the movies, I'm watching them in chronological order. So I'm currently on Guardians of the Galaxy. I have maybe 15 movies left or something like that. Uh, and yeah. So yeah, let's get into this. Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. Coming out in 2008 to 2013. Obviously, the character Iron Man has been in other movies like The Avengers and cameos and stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, we're strictly talking about the 1, 2, and 3 Iron Man movies. Uh, Iron Man 1, let's start with there. First movie to come out of the MCU franchise. Uh, Good Kickstarter, especially. It was good enough to kickstart the movie, all the MCU basically. Uh, yeah, another thing I forgot to say is a lot of people say that might be one of the worst trilogies in the MCU. Just because there's a lot of people who dislike Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3. Um, and yeah, a lot of people some people don't even say Thor because Ragnarok is just awesome for them. In my opinion, Ragnarok is awesome, but 1 and 2 is just I can't even barely watch Thor 1, but that's for different videos. So yeah, um, in my opinion, this is probably the second best out of 3 trilogies here. Um, I think Guardians of the Galaxy, once it gets another movie, I think it's definitely going to be my second, because I really enjoy those movies. But other than that, let's stop talking about other franchise or other movies. All right, Iron Man 1, good villain. Dialogue was all right. Acting all right. Music pretty good. Action good. Um, yeah, it was a good Kickstarter. That's all I really have to say. It wasn't awesome. It was good. Yeah. Uh, Ironmonger was definitely good. An alright villain. He's your kind of typical starter villain, you would say. Some like rogue member, someone close to you that just betrays you. If you realize that, uh, yeah, it tells Iron Man's origin story really well. Yeah, it tells his origin story pretty well on how he got suits and all this stuff. Pepper's alright in the movie too. Gwyneth Paltrow does a well enough job. Um, Agent Coulson was in it too, which was a little interesting. Sorry about that. I just had to grab some water real quick. But yeah, let's just fast forward to about 3 years later. We got Iron Man 2. This movie, again, a lot of people don't like it. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed it. As I've grown up, I kind of have mixed feelings on it. I mean, I understand why people don't like it. There's definitely certain parts that a lot of people don't like. Um, yeah, let's just talk real quick. Its music was good. Acting was Robert Downey Jr. actually did pretty well. Increase of better acting. Um, yeah, dialogue was all right. I mean, it was better than Iron Man. Action was it was kind of a decrease to be honest with you. Um, yeah, the CGI was actually pretty good. The CGI for all three movies really, really well done. I think it was awesome. Iron Man 1 had good CGI, especially for 2008. That was really good CGI. I mean, you could talk about the Spider-Man Raimi trilogy and stuff as having good CGI back in like 2002 back then, but yeah, Iron Man was pretty well, especially for it wasn't a low budget movie, but it was not something where they had all the money and the so much money. This was kind of like an experimental movie. Yeah, but Iron Man 2. Let's go back to talking about that. Now, in my opinion, the scene where Whiplash or Ivan Vanko is destroying all those race cars, that is a memorable scene to me. I remember being a kid, I was there, I was watching in theaters, and I was just like, oh, this is awesome. It was so sick just seeing Iron Man's suit up there. It was just so awesome. I still enjoy that scene to this day. Yeah, here's where the bad stuff comes in. Is the villain. Ivan Vanko was a terrible villain. I can't even lie, he was terrible. Especially since he was actually the villain, unlike Iron Man 3. I'll talk about that later, but we only pretty much got like 2 minutes of him screen time in his Whiplash suit, which was so stupid. I can't even lie. It was not a good decision. I wish we could have seen him at least for a little bit longer, or at least um, another scene in the movie. It would have been so much better. Because I'm being fully honest. Iron Man had the same problem as well. Iron Man 1 had the same problem where these two guys didn't really have their suits until the last 10 minutes of the movie, which I dislike heavily. Um, yeah, and we also got the new roadie as well, or James Rhodes, or what I can't remember his actual name, but I personally call him Rhodey. That's what Iron Man calls him in the movies. It stuck to me as a child. um, yeah, or you could call him War Machine. Yeah, so yeah, I think Don Cheadle. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Sorry if I mispronounced it. He did a really well job as playing Rhodey. I thought it was awesome the way he played him. He played him very well. I don't think I would have liked Rhodey's character if Terrence Howard played him. I didn't really like him in Iron Man 1. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't really like um, Terrence Howard as War Machine. It just didn't fit right. Oh yeah, and that fight scene between Rhodey and Iron Man was awesome. That was awesome. Uh, yeah, Justin Hammer downplayed, super downplayed. He was just technically like just there, to be honest with you. He just looked like some money hungry man there, so it wasn't really good. I mean, I didn't really enjoy his character too much. I thought he was just a big snob kind of guy, but Yeah, that's just my opinion on that. Yeah, let's get into Iron Man 3. Now, before you think to yourself or go in the comment section, you're really like, hey, how do you like Iron Man 3? The villain's messed up. And I got one word for you, and that is adventure. Um, in my opinion, this is more of it's an action and adventure movie. This, it really shows kind of like a journey of just Tony Stark, and it really showcases the side of Tony Stark and not just Iron Man all the time. Like we saw a lot more of Tony Stark than we had in the previous two movies. Um, yeah, you realize that in this. Um, yeah, action scenes were super well, dialogue was well, acting was good, music was good. In my opinion, I could watch this movie 100 times and not get sick of it. Um, yeah, say what you want. The villain was screwed up. Mandarin was just a stupid guy. Um, yeah, the Mandarin was just screwed up. I mean, I actually liked Aldrin Killian's villain. I remember back in 2013 when I originally watched this movie in the theaters. I was just watching, and then I saw at the end, Aldrich Killian was really the Mandarin, which does kind of make sense. I know we're actually getting a reboot of the Mandarin, or not a reboot, but he's supposed to be like the villain for Shang-Chi, which is pretty good. So yeah, Don Cheadle did a really well job as Iron Patriot. That's what he's called in this movie. He does a really good job. CGI was really well done. I liked how we saw those suits at the end. That was just an awesome scene. Really enjoyed that. That kid named Harley or whatever. Um, Harley Keener, I think that's what his name was. He was all right. I like kind of the mystery we're finding out in this movie, which is really interesting. And yeah, so yeah, now I want to say this quickly. Worth noting is I think in all three movies, if you realize there's a common theme in the movie, and that is Captain America is right. So Tony is honestly kind of selfish, to be honest with you, because if you realize let's just say this right now, Iron Man 3, why is he fighting Ironmonger? Because he stole his tech and he's trying to. I don't know if he was trying to destroy the world, but he was trying to mess around with the arc reactor that was producing him money. That's kind of another reason why. Iron Man 2, if you realize he's fighting Whiplash, it pretty much he goes there because he realizes he's too selfish. He doesn't want to share anything, and he just wants to shut out the competition, pretty much with Justin Hammer, and he basically created Whiplash. To be honest with you, he basically created Ironmonger as well, because he basically was gonna. Ironmonger knew Tony was gonna take the company back from him. So yeah, that's what I realized. And he basically kind of created Whiplash. I mean, technically it was his father, but if you realize he just provoked him more, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, he pretty much evoked him more. So yeah, and then you realize Iron Man 3. Um, he's pretty much just turning a blind eye to Mandarin, honestly, until he decides to be an idiot and call him to his mansion. Just because, and yeah, I know he's trying to technically stick up for Happy there, but yeah, and then in the ending, you realize he he's more going to just save Pepper, really. So in the end, you could maybe call him selfish, but I personally would call him more. He helps who he wants to help. And that includes like Happy, Pepper, and I guess sometimes Rhodey. Yeah, that's just my opinion on the character of Iron Man through these three movies. In terms of ranking, I would definitely go Iron Man 2 the worst, Iron Man, and then Iron Man 3 the best. Uh, really good trilogy, really good Kickstarter. Sad we didn't get a Iron Man 4. I would love to see that. I mean, we're kind of getting it with like Ironheart. And also, we saw a lot of Tony Stark's character in the like 23 movies. He was maybe in like 12 of them, even with small cameos. He was in the Avengers. He was in Homecoming. He was in Civil War. He was in the Iron Man movies. So many different things. Sad to see this character die, but yeah. Other than that, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.